Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellie, I'm from Austria and this is episode number 53. Hello, I am so glad you could join me again. I know it's been a while again, but I am trying to get a video out maybe once a month just to give you a little bit of an update of what I've been working on. Don't get your hopes up, it's not that much, but I thought it would be fun to just check in because it is almost the end of September. So it's almost October, Halloween time, and time's just flying. Summer is kind of officially over now. So I think today or tomorrow is the last really nice day. It's been 27 degrees yesterday, 27 today, and then tomorrow is one more sunny day before it starts raining for the whole week and the temperatures are dropping from 27 down to 17. Oh, fun times. So I thought I would just record a video and see how y'all doing. I do have a finished object. I am not fully aware of what I showed you last time. I know I cast on some new things. I finished a few are half finished, and I think we should just get into it and stay tuned for the live update because some exciting things happened. So I will talk about that at the end. Right, let's start with finished objects. I do have my basket here beside me. The first finished object is the first finished object that I have. Sorry, I'm just super excited to be recording this video. I am stumbling over my words. The first finished object that I have is a pair of socks. Finally, I started these on Valentine's Day. I finished the first one fairly quickly for me, and then some things happened. You can go and check out other episodes if you want to know what happened and what problems I had. But the second one is finally finished, so I have a full pair for myself now. I just used the normal vanilla sock pattern, but I modified the cuff to a 2x2 rib, and it extends down the foot, the front of the foot. The back is just a normal slip stitch heel flap and just a normal stockinette bottom. So I finally have a second sock. I think they look incredible. They make me super happy. I'm really happy with the color choice. I knit these on 2.5mm needles. This is my preferred needle size. I have a few round circular needles in this size, so they work really well for me. And the yarn that I used is Lana Grossa. Monte, I believe it's called. I think it's got an aloe vera content in it. I could be mistaken. I caked up all of my sock yarn and this is what I have left. I think I used about half of the ball. Let's see, let's have a look at the label. Yeah, Monte by Meilenweit. This is the label. I'm really happy with the color combo. I mean, even just in the cake it looks so nice, so I will definitely be able to squeeze out a second pair for myself, probably also for a bigger size. Maybe I will make my mum some of these socks, at least with a different colored toe and heel. I know I'll definitely have enough of this yarn. The sock itself is really simple. Like I said before, I had some troubles, but finally I'm done with them and now I can start wearing them. I don't think I will block them just because I really like the tightness of the cuffs, because when I block them it does stretch out and socks don't really fit me that well. I haven't figured out how to modify them so they fit my foot perfectly yet, but we'll get there. And I thought I would try something new, something fairly simple, and that's what I did. Obviously they're not evenly striped, but I really don't care about these things. I am not bothered by it, and I think I will leave this yarn for now to rest, because it took me such a long time to finish this pair that I'm kind of fed up with it. But I'll definitely come back to it in the future. So my first finished object, a pair of socks, and I have another one. It's been such a while and it's very wrinkled. I'm really sorry. This is finished but still kind of half finished. This is a dress by Sari Nordlund. I just forgotten the name of it. I will put in the name. Last time I think I was around the middle, maybe. It's got this beautiful lace design at the top. I now also have some really nice I-cord straps, and this is what the front looks like, and the sides, they don't continue with the lace, it kind of stops at the bottom. I wanted to use up all of this yarn. This was Pascuali yarn, Sole, I believe it was called, in this really nice aubergine purple. I have all of the specs down below, and I wanted to use up every last bit of this yarn because I only had, I think, 4 or 5 balls, so I knew this was going to be a stretch using this yarn, because I knew from the get-go I wouldn't have enough like the pattern recommended. I was fine with it. I need to block it and then I can stretch it out a little bit more. And the reason why it's kind of still not fully done is because the hem, you knit one purl row so you have a nice folding edge. You're supposed to have obviously a bigger edge, but because of my yarn situation, I didn't have that much playroom. So what I did is I just knit until I ran out of yarn. This is all I have left, and then I cast off with just a normal bind off. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it and then I'm gonna sew it down instead. I don't know what yarn I'm gonna use just yet, because any yarn will probably show up really badly because you have to sew it down. So I want to use something that is fairly close to this colour. I do have something in mind. I have a Sandnes Garn Linie, which is a DK weight in a pretty similar colour. I still have the t-shirt that I made, but I really don't like the shirt, so I want to reuse the yarn, and maybe I can use that and just attach it and then sew it down. I think anything else will really show up on the underside, which is not what I want. I was also playing with the idea of having like a different hem, maybe something like a white as a contrast color, and then some like ruffles or something like that, or like those, I just forgotten the name of it, those like shell like waves in a sense, also petal like shapes that you can put on like the collar or the bottom of a dress or whatever. I was also playing around with the idea of doing that. I haven't decided yet, that's why it's been done for a month now. I've not had the opportunity to wear it either because it's autumn now. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just leave it like this until next summer, and then I will just deal with it then. I don't know yet. But this was such a fun knit. It was really straightforward. I have the book somewhere. Where is it? Is it this one? I have it somewhere. I just can't find it right now. And I just used the pattern straight out of the book. For the chart itself, I took a picture because I do like to draw on the patterns, and so I wouldn't like ruin the book, I took a picture and then did it digitally, which is something that I like to do quite often if I don't have the digital pattern, because then you can just erase it and everything is fine again. Highly recommend the pattern. I think I knitted the smallest size, or the second to smallest one. I'll have to check again, or you just go on my Ravelry page. For the decreases, I did some more decreases than the pattern said I should do, just because I wanted it to cinch it a little bit more. And then I think I actually increased afterwards. Yes. So you increase all the time. There's something that I did, I can't just quite remember right now, but I think I increased either more times than the pattern recommended or less. I have one, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4 increased rows, I think. I'm pretty sure I have something on Ravelry. Like I said, it's been a while. But I did something just because I wanted it to be a bit wider, I think, at the bottom and not as form-fitting. Obviously, I did try it on once it was try-on worthy, because my hips are fairly wide compared to my waist, the smallest point on my body circumference-wise. Right, so that's another finished object, and this is also officially my very first dress that I knitted. I am really happy with this because this has been on my checklist, my bucket list for a really long time. I really wanted to knit a dress once, and I now checked it off. I do want to make another one, not this one, but I do want to make something cozy for winter. I was thinking about a drop shoulder dress, something really soft and airy, but we'll see how and when I will actually get round to doing that. So those were my two finished objects. I don't think I have anything else, but I do have a few things that I have worked on since last time. What's this? Ah, sock. No, I haven't worked on that one. Yes. Maybe let's start with something that you haven't seen in a while. And I am really bad with not looking any of these things up. I'm really sorry. This has been on my needles for, I think, over a year now. But I still love it and I still want to finish it because it's so beautiful. This is a sweater by the Knit Purl, and I can't remember the name because it's been so long, but I knitted on this. I actually worked on it. This is what it looks like. You have this beautiful stitch pattern. I believe it's either seed or a sand stitch. I have this really nice folded collar. It's really thick. It's 1x1 rib. It's beautiful. And then I started working on the sleeve. I lost motivation and then I didn't continue. This might not look like much, but it's actually a lot of work because every other row you have a 1x1 rib to do. So I don't like purling. It's not what I want to do in my free time a lot, yet here we are. I still have a lot to do on the sleeve. I think I tried it on last time. It was still a little bit too short. It's a really, really nice fit though. I think I'm making the smallest size, or the second to smallest. And as far as I remember, it could be a compound raglan. So you start with a different increase rate, and it changes after a certain point to fit the proportions a lot better than if you would just have one diagonal. I believe that is what happened here as well. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, it's been a while, but I absolutely love this project. I kind of don't want it to end, but at the same time I do really want to have this sweater in my wardrobe. So I knitted a little bit on the sleeves, and then obviously I still have the second one to do. You work on 4mm needles. The body is on hold right now. This is how much I've got from the body, just because it's fairly oversized and I was worried that it was gonna be too long, but I think I can get at least another ball in before I do the rib. The yarn that I'm using is Drops Daisy. It's 100% extra fine merino wool. This is color number 2. I believe it's called Marzipan or something like that, or Beige, I don't know. And it's 100% wool, DK weight, very nice to work with. This was actually the first sweater that I started with this yarn. I was completely new to it. Since then I finished a sweater, and I have to say I really like working with the yarn because it's so soft, it's very smooth, there are no hiccups in the strand at all, and the colour is incredible, but the wear is not great. I made my sweater number 8, I think, or 9, the light version. Was it this year or last year? I can't remember. But I made the sweater in this yarn, just a different colour, and it doesn't wear fantastically. Since then I've heard people like to use it with a second strand of fingering weight yarn, and that works a lot better just because of the structure. And I think I will have to do that from the future onwards if I decide to use this yarn. It pills really easily, but the pilling is almost like felting. It doesn't stretch as much as you would think a wool yarn would stretch. To be fair, I don't really do swatches. I see the point why you should do it, I just never really do. So that was also kind of a hit and miss, just for me to try out the yarn, make the sweater and see what happens. I'm that kind of person. I'm really sorry if that bothers anyone. That's just who I am. But yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how this sweater is going to wear with the many pearls that it has in the sweater. The other sweater that I have is just plain stockinette, and like I said, it doesn't have the best wear. I would much prefer some other Drops yarns or some other brands that are also 100% wool but wear a lot better, but also have the same pleasant knitting experience. So I probably won't buy this yarn again on its own, but it's a really nice option if you like to work with softer yarns or you're very sensitive around the neck like me. Right, so that is the first thing that I have worked on. Probably not anything really exciting. So we'll get to the exciting bits. The first one, I haven't really worked on this one, but I think I have to show you just because it's one of my newer whips. I started this sweater. This is the summer sweater by Gregoria Fibers, I think. This is what I have so far. I think I only had 1/2 of the shoulders last time. I could be wrong on that again. But this is what I have so far. I'm making the smallest size possible just because it's so oversized and I really don't want anything super big. But it does have a lot of positive ease, so we'll see. So this is the front. It has this really beautiful eyelet detail. I think that the collar is incredibly wide, so I hope that I don't have to do like a really thick 1x1 rib to make the hole for the neck smaller, or small enough that I like it. We'll have to see about that. This is the back. And I noticed, not only on the video last time, but also somewhere along the lines, that I actually messed up the very first row of the sweater from the back, because a purl row is missing. I just went straight into the eyelets without making a purl row, and ever since I've seen that, I cannot unsee it, but I also don't want to unravel the whole piece just because of that. So maybe because it's on the back, I don't have to think about it too often, but it's something that I noticed and that bothers me. Not enough to undo all of this work, but enough that I'm not 100% happy with it. And that's completely my fault. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. So this is what we are right now. Like I said, I haven't really worked on this, also because first of all, I didn't really have the time, and second of all, summer is now kind of over and I don't want to work on like cotton yarns, so I want to work with nice woolly fibers. You work this on 4mm needles, and the yarn that I'm using is Drops Belle in this really nice beige color. It's a DK weight. I have worked with it a few times now, I think. I could be wrong on that. But it's a really nice blend because you don't have 100% cotton in it. You also have some viscose and some linen, which makes it a little bit more pleasant than if you had only cotton in your hands. So I'm really happy with the yarn choice. I'm going to see how this is going to turn out. Probably fine, but I don't think I'll be working on this anytime soon. Right, then I have another project, and that's something new. Now we only have new things, 2 new things to be honest. And the first one is another pair of socks. I hope I'll get this done a lot faster than my socks, because it's almost October, so the knitting sock marathon has begun officially now for me. Every year I tell myself I'm gonna knit a pair of socks throughout the year, so I won't get super stressed when Christmas is only a few months away. And every single time we're back at this stage where I am right now, trying to knit 3 to 4 pairs of socks in a few months when I couldn't even finish one in half a year. But hey ho, here we are. This is a self-drafted one as well. I used the vanilla sock pattern again. I already turned the heel. I'm already done with the gusset as well. So now it's just knitting the foot. This is a 2x1 rib, I think. Yes, 2x1 rib. Same principle as the last time. The cuff is completely in rib, and then the front of the foot is in the rib pattern, whereas the back is just plain stockinette. I'm making a really big size. For the first time I'm trying 72 stitches. This is going to be a men's pair, and the yarn that I bought for this is new. I need to get the label. Hang on. So this is some yarn that I bought from a craft shop, which was really cool experience. I really want to go there again. I've never worked with this yarn before. Generally I stick with yarns that I know, which is mostly Signature by, what are they called? It's an English brand. They are very famous for their sock yarns. I have a lot of them. There we are. West Yorkshire Spinners, that's what they're called. I usually knit with either one of their yarns or the Lana Grossa Meilenweit, just because I know them and I know what the end product will look like. But this time I really liked the yarn, so I thought I would try something new. This is on line, I think. I hope. I can't really read the label, to be honest. This is line 3 trend collection, Supersocke 100 tweed. You get 100 grams and 420 meters. The yarn composition is also something new for me. It's 70% wool, 25% polyamide and 5% viscose. I made another pair of socks for myself with a very high viscose content, and they're very drapey. So I am curious to see how they are going to hold up. And this is the colour 807. And it's made in Italy. Like I said, never used this brand before, but I really like the tweed speckles that they have. And I thought this would just be a very nice standard pair of men's socks. So this is the very first pair. I'm hoping, also the very first sock, I still need to finish it. I'm hoping to get 3 to 4 pairs done before Christmas, because I want to gift them. But last year no one received socks from me either, because I didn't have the time to just work on socks. I don't really enjoy sock knitting that much. I like to have like 1 or 2 pairs for myself, and I make them throughout the year. I really enjoy making socks with structure, with lace, with something interesting in them. But I am not a huge fan of making things double, which in sock knitting is a very big problem. So realistically, I would have to have this pair done by next week or the week after to kind of get everything done by Christmas. But we'll see if that happens, or if I just stick with this one pair and gift it to one person and everyone else can, I don't know, make them themselves. But that's my dilemma. Let me know if you're already in the sock knitting frenzy as well, or if you are better than me and already started way ahead of time to not be stressed and hating yourself for leaving it to the last minute. Right, and the last whip that I have, and that is also something new but something really exciting, is the Dagmar jacket cardigan. I don't know what it's called, I think jacket, by PetiteKnit. I've been eyeing this pattern for such a long time. I think it would look absolutely incredible with my dirndl, which is our traditional clothing that we have in Austria. So I started it. It's not going to be done in time for a big celebration that we have at the company where I need to wear my dirndl, but I think it's going to just be a great piece overall, not just for this one occasion. And this is what I have so far. I am making size S, and that's something very surprising for me, because I usually make the small sizes, and PetiteKnit has a lot of positive ease in this piece as well. I'm still on the back. I finished the increases. You have this really nice border. There we go. Beautiful cabled braid, just like here, 1 by 1 braid as well. Cornering, and then this honeycomb stitch in between, and then just the same repeat on the other side. I think it's going to look fantastically. I had to cast this on twice. I was already at row 20, but the project was about this big, so I was very worried, because this is supposed to be the back and it was barely covering my neck with the smallest size. So I checked my gauge on the honeycomb from what I already had, and I was only off by, I think, 2 or 3 stitches, so it shouldn't have thrown the whole piece off like it did. But I think a lot of it is due to the yarn. The yarn, I've never used this yarn before, it's completely new. Of course I didn't make a gauge swatch because I just won't. This is by Laniato, which is a very good knitting cafe that we have here in Vienna. They sell yarn, you can have a coffee, they do workshops. It's a great shop where you can also buy more expensive yarns like cashmere, etc. But they also have their own brand, which is what I have in my hands right here. It's called Laniato Merino 125 in color number 2. It's a really nice off-white, and you get 125 meters in 50 grams. It's 100% merino wool, and the gauge is supposed to be 19 stitches, so it's supposed to be like an Aran weight, but it's more like a DK weight, especially when I knit with it, because I pull on my yarn quite a lot, which is why everything turned out smaller than it should be. I mean, even with this one, I am a bit worried that it is still going to be too small. When I hold it up to my armpit, it's a stretch. It is a stretch, but I'm sure we will figure something out once the piece is done. I think it will grow, and I think I can stretch it with blocking, because that's just what I always do. And yeah, this is what I have. I still have a little bit to go on the back, and then I can start on the front. I'm really enjoying this pattern. It's very straightforward. It has a chart, which I love working from. Charts are just the best. It took me a little bit to get the hang of all of the cables and when to twist them, etc., but now I have it down to pat, and I can really just breathe through it whilst watching something on the side and work on this. Yeah, I don't think I can say anything else about it. I'm very excited when it's done, and I'm very curious about the size, to be honest, but I'm sure we'll make it work. And yes, that is the last finished object, or whip should I say, not finished object. Now we get into acquisitions, and I do have another ball of yarn. You've already seen the first one, the sock that I already cast on. I bought some new needles with it just because I didn't have them at the time with me. I bought them when I was at the office, and it was like a downtime, and I really wanted to pop into this shop and see what they have. And I bought this pair. It's a fixed circular 2.5mm needles. I think it's by Addy, if I'm not mistaken. 60cm cord, and they are copper. Yeah, I don't have the label thingy or like the plastic thingy that came in right here with me, but they're great. They're very pointy. They're supposed to be worked, or they're supposed to be used for lace work. They're specifically lace needles, but I think they work great for socks because they're so pointy. I think for a nice sock knitting experience, you need a pointier tip just to get in all of the really small and tight stitches, and these are great for it. They smell a bit funny, just like metal needles sometimes do, but they have a particularly strong scent. But I can't complain. They are a great pair, and I wanted to have another one anyways because I only have one fixed circular needle set. I like needles, so great addition to my collection. And then the other new thing that I have is this yarn. Again, it's a sock yarn. Don't ask what came over me. I just cannot resist sock yarn because it looks so beautiful. Even though I'm not a huge sock knitter, yet I constantly keep buying sock yarn. This is Meilenweit. Once again, it was on sale, which also kind of influenced me. Lana Grossa. The color is a really long number, 18302985, and it looks really nice. I was thinking about making a pair for my mum, just because I wanted a full ball for the new socks that I'm making, just to be completely certain that it will be enough, and now I know it will. So that's my second yarn acquisition, and last one I don't think I bought anything else. So yeah, no new yarn, no nothing. I have one other thing that I need to talk to you about before we get into the nitty-gritty of my personal life. I showed this cardigan to you last time. This is the Epiphany cardigan by PetiteKnit, and I need your help. For this cardigan, you have this ruffle detail at the sleeves. You have a really nice I-cord, and then you double the stitch counts to have like a ruffle, and then in the pattern it just says bind off, as you usually would, and that's what I did. The problem that I have, I used just a really standard bind off, the knit one, slip one over kind of bind off, but what happens is it rolls the sleeves, and it just it does that, and I don't like it, because first of all you can see the tail constantly, no matter how many times I weave it in or how short I cut it. It does this, and this just does not look flattering, nor does it look like a really nice ruffle like I wanted it to. So I blocked it again. It wouldn't do anything. I'm aware, because it's pure stockinette and not a rib, it's going to do something funky anyways. So yesterday, because I was so unhappy with the bind off, I just did a tubular cast off, and I hate this even more. It looks yucky. I have no other words to describe this bind off. It does not look nice at all, and it rolls again. So I'm now stuck with this really crappy bind off that I hated to an even crappier one, which I probably have to undo again because it's really messy. So the question that I have to get to the point now, the question that I have is, do you know of a good bind off where it wouldn't roll in on itself, that isn't an I-cord bind off, and that just looks nice and clean, because I can't seem to get it right. The other thing I was contemplating is just unpicking this bind off and doing it again but looser, because it is really tight. But I don't want to put all of this effort in it to just look the same as it did before, if you catch my drift. So if you have any suggestions, any ideas, please let me know in the comments or on Instagram or wherever, because I am desperate, because I love this cardigan. It fits so nicely. I really want to wash it and block it again, but only if I can get a really nice bind off and not have to faff with it anymore. So that's my question. Please help. Right, and now let's get into the personal things. If you're still here and interested, go and stick around. I ran my second official half marathon last weekend. I finished with a time of 2 hours and 19 minutes. It was absolute crap. I was dying the whole way and my pulse was way too high. Which, if you've been around for a little bit longer, I've had troubles with my heart last year already, and then I thought it was fine this year, or like at the beginning of this year, because I got everything checked out a million times. Everyone said, it's great, you have no problems or issues whatsoever, and I'm just standing here thinking that is not true, because I feel like crap a lot of the times. But I ran my second half marathon. I'm really happy that I did it. The conditions were really, really terrible, and the circumstances but I did it. I don't want to get into all of the details because I just don't want to bore you guys, since this is a knitting channel and not a running channel. But I'm really proud of myself that I did it, and I already have the next race on my plan. I'm going to run the half marathon in Salzburg in May, so I'm really excited for that one. I'm going to improve. Hopefully I have enough time to properly train for this, to get my heart rate down, to try and really build my stamina, and then hopefully it will be a better race than this one. So that is some big news. And the second one is I now have a boyfriend. He makes me very happy. I'm back in a relationship, and yeah, I'm spending a lot of time with him. He's also a work colleague, and we just have a really great time. We fit really well together, and yeah, those are very exciting and big news for me. Apart from that, life has been a little bit slower. I really enjoyed my summer. I had a lot of fun in August. We went on a work trip down to the south of Tyrol, so it is already Italy, but they don't see themselves as Italians, they see themselves as Austrians. We just had a great time there. I went with a few work colleagues because it was a competition and I won in that competition, so I was able to spend some time with those people, made some very, very good memories, and we had so much fun. I loved every minute of it. And yeah, what else can I tell you? I don't think anything else really has happened apart from the big things. I'm still living in my handy dandy apartment. Winter is coming, so it's getting cooler and colder, not only outside but also inside. So I'm back on knitting sweaters. I want to get a few of the projects that I have on my needles done, to just be done with them and not have them lying and flying around anymore. And yeah, let me know where you are with your knitting. Have you already started autumn and winter knits as well? Are you excited for the season, or are you still stuck with some summer projects? Let me know also how you're doing. It would be very nice to have a chat going on in the comments. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely weekend whenever you're going to watch this, and happy knitting. Bye.